Hi everyone, welcome to Baba Urban Farming Workshop. I'm Jess from Baba. Welcome friend in Malaysia. Hi. Now we can't fly here and there, but it's so excited to see so many friends from Singapore, Philippines, Vietnam, Cambodia, Brunei, Dubai, and more countries are joining our online workshop now. So hopefully this pandemic could over as soon as possible and wish everyone stay healthy and happy all the times. So some of our friends have noticed that Hans, have you get your mug already? Ready your drinking water? Yeah. Okay, so Hans tonight have the topic about how to reduce spider mite in organic way at home. So do you ever notice some tiny red dot, something like mini spider net or the leaf turning yellow on your plants? If yes, then it might be a sign for spider mite. And you must stay tuned for tonight, Hans sharing about how to reduce spider mite in organic way at home. So welcome to click on the share button and share out our online workshop to all gardening kakis. And before start, since tonight we have a lot new friends, so I will have a quick introduction about Baba and Hans. So Baba is a gardening accessory manufacturer from Malaysia. We continuously deliver quality and creative, eco-friendly gardening products to farmers and also gardeners. We focus on developing eco-friendly products and promote organic farming. Planting in organic way is important to conserve our environment. We also share our organic farming method with farmers and provide training to encourage farmers to reduce the usage of toxic chemicals. By this way, it is good to the farmer and also reduce the agrochemical pollution. For home gardener, by using natural way to protect our garden is important too because garden is one of the location where we relax our mind and enjoy family times. So through our sharing, we hope to make urban farming and gardening easier for everyone. So for friends who just joined, tonight Hans will share on tips about how to reduce spider mite in organic way at home. So have you clicked on the share button on your Facebook? If not yet, click and share now tonight workshop to all gardening kaki now. Spider is a friend to garden, but spider might absolutely not. So how to reduce spider mite in your gardens? Stay tuned with Hans now. So after Hans sharing, we will have a Q&A section. You may write down your question in comment anytime and I will read out to Hans during Q&A section. So tonight we will have Hans as our speaker. He graduated from Iowa State University of US with Bachelor Honor Degree of Agriculture and Biosystem Engineering. He has more than 2 years management experience in 2,000 acre farm in US. He also been trained as organic farmer in choosing organic farm in Taiwan. He been visiting to Malaysia farm and conduct research on organic farming in the past 7 years. He continuously provides assistance and consultation to local farmers who would like to convert to organic farming. So he is familiar with organic and non-pesticide farming practice. So now let's welcome Hans Leong.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Good evening, all my friends on Facebook Live over here. I can't imagine that like there are so many countries, friends coming together, learn together. I know there are some time difference, but we do really appreciate that you spend your time with us and then to learn about the topics together. And today, we would like to talk about this, how to reduce spider mites in organic way at home. As being described by Jess, spider or the spidey is our friend, but the spider mites is not. Okay, so, but uh, probably there are some friends who are not familiar with the spider mites. So let's start from this. Have you ever faced these problems? For example, you will notice that your leaf got dots or clusters on leaf surface, okay? So you can see there are some like white dots on top, okay? And when become serious, all the white dots will cluster will group together to become cluster of dots. Okay, will become cluster. And then, as we shown in the picture here, the dots are white in color, and this one, the dots are in yellow in color. So similarly, when it becomes serious, the dots group together become a cluster, okay, and is yellow in color. So the dots will become more and more and eventually become cluster. And eventually, when you flip your leaf, okay, and you observe the back of the leaf, you will see there are some moving dots on at the back of the leaf, at the back of the leaf. And there are moving red dots most of the time at the back of the leaf. So you will not only notice the red dots at the back of the leaf, but you'll also notice there are some like dust or dusty layer of objects. It could be in white in color or orange red in color, and or you feel like there are so many things at the back of the leaf. And eventually you will notice there are some spider webs, okay, not like the polygon, there are some shape of the really of the spider web made by the real spider, but this one is there is really irregular and so uh, clumpy like sponge, okay, and it occurs on the leaf, okay. And these spider webs, when become more and more, and you will see there are moving red dots moving on the spider web as well. And these indicate that this one become their home, and it's really hard to get cured at this time. So when it become more serious, the leaves will become dry or burnt. Okay. So what are the pests? What is the pest causing these symptoms? They are spider mites. Okay, spider mites. It could be generally classified as two types. The first one is the red spider mites. The second one is the two-spotted spider mites. So the difference will be the body color. The red spider mites is got red body in color, but the two spotted mites are usually like more similarly transparent with two dots on at two sides of the body. Okay. During this course today, the workshop today, we will generally call them as spider mite to easy to avoid confusion. And which plants will usually get infested by spider mites? Usually, the spider mite can infest the fruiting crops like the eggplants, the chili, the capsicum, the strawberry, the cucurbits or vines like the cucumber, pumpkin, tomato, grapes. Could be the legumes like the long bean, the edamame, the fruit trees like the papaya or guava, and the flowers like the adenium, rose, chrysanthemum, and so on. So as you can see, this is the symptom of the eggplants get being infested by the spider mites. You can see the white dots on top, and there are some clusters of dots on top on the leaf surface. The cucumber similarly infested by the spider mites look like this. Okay, edamame, the legumes, the papaya also infested by the spider mite like this. Okay, you see there are some irregular distribution of the white dots throughout the leaves. Okay, the guava tree similarly, and you see there are some spider mites, the spider webs on the leaves. And also the adenum plant, the rose plant easily get infested by the spider mite. So these spider mites actually is a very a problematic pest. It's a really headache, but by the farmer and also the home user. Okay, so through the platform today, we wish that we can learn all this together. We can understand the the life cycle of the spider mites, and understand the prevention and management of the spider mites in organic way, and understand several precautions while managing the spider mites. All right, let's look at this. the introduction on the spider mites. So normally the pests we encounter usually, like for example, the leaf-eating worms, the caterpillar, the plutella, or the aphids, or the mealybugs, the whitefly, they are all classified as under the class family Insecta, means that insect family. But the spider mites are totally different. They are grouped under different class, under different family. It's called arachnid, means that the spider class is a real spider. Okay, so the spider mite could be considered as a animal. Okay, it has more complicated organ structure compared to the normal pest. However, although the spider mites can be classified as animal, but do you know how small the spider mite is? An adult spider mite is the size of this little dot. As you can see, when it's being put on a ruler, it's even less than half millimeter, half mm. It's really, really, really small. As we can look from this chart, you can see this is the growth life cycle of the spider mites. So this one, the transparent round object, this one is the egg. Okay, when the egg get hatched, okay, it hatch into larva stage 1. Okay, and eventually it grow to larva stage 2. So the difference between larva stage 1 and stage 2, you can see that the larva stage 1 is totally transparent. There is no two dots on the side, but when it's grow into larva stage 2, it start to have two dots on the body, on the side of the body. Okay, and eventually it will become larva stage 3 and goes to adult. Okay, if you look under microscope, the larva stage 1, it has only 6 legs, 1, 2, 3 on each side of the body. Okay, 3 pairs of legs for larva stage 1. Okay, when it grows to larva stage 2, it will grow 4 pairs of legs, or 8 legs in total. Okay, so when you see there are a lot of larva stage 1 which have 6 legs, it means that, oh, this is only the early sign of infestation by the spider mites. However, the spider mites can reproduce very, very fast. I just describe it as speedy. Okay, really fast. In Malaysia weather, where the temperature is about like 30 degrees Celsius most of the time. Okay, it can reproduce for 3 to 4 generations every month. Okay, it means that the father will born the kids, and the kids will born the grandkids and the grandkids, and so on. Okay, and every time, every generation, it can lay 100 eggs. So let us do some calculation. How many spider mites can be reproduced after a month? Okay, just now we say that each month it can reproduce for 3 to 4 generations. Means that it can lay 4 times of eggs. So let's say we have one spider mite. It can lay 100 eggs, and each 100 eggs, when they become adults, each of them can lay another 100 eggs each. Okay, and so on. So eventually, after a month, you will witness there will be 1 million of spider mites on leaf. Wow, 1 million. So although the size of the spider mite is really, really small, but can you imagine that there are 1 million of these kind of pests on your plant, 1 million of moving red dots on the plant? Wow. Okay. And how they infest and threaten your plants? Let us look at this short video. Can you see how they uh, eat the plant? Okay, I consider as eat. Okay, they suck. You see, they can suck the juice and suck the juice inside their body. Okay, so their eating habits is something like this: they poke, okay, and suck the juice. Okay, they suck the juice of the plant chlorophyll. That's why you can see they move to one spot and they poke there and they suck the juice over there. And after they finish sucking the juice out, it creates the regional white spot over there because the area is empty of juice, no water, no chlorophyll anymore. And the remnants of the area become white in color or yellow in color, means that there is no more juice anymore. And eventually, when it becomes so serious that the leaf become dehydrated, it don't have any water, it don't have any chlorophyll anymore. That's why the leaves become burned or dry, and sometimes the leaf will become wrinkled, okay, will become curved, okay. And eventually, when they start to they start to reproduce, want to go to the reproduction stage, they will produce spider web in order to protect their kids, okay, in order to make this into as their home. So how the farmers usually handle this problem when they see spider mites are so serious on their plants? Usually the first choice, the first option will be chemical pesticide. So these are the list of the pesticides that can be used, target specifically on the spider mites like spirodiclofenac, chlorphenapir, abamectin, and so on. But the risk behind using the chemical pesticides will be reduce kids' self-protection ability. So all the chemical pesticide, the toxic, will pass down to next generation without being known by the user, without being known by the parents. And it also reduces the bees vastly. So it affects the environment, it affects the ecosystems, and then it affects the yield of the plants in the throughout the world. And it also reduces the birds and the eggs hatching rate, and it indirectly causes the how do I say it cause the many birds, okay, they just disappear, okay, right now. And according to research, some of these pesticides also affect human pregnancy. But the most serious problem, the greater problem here is why the chemical pesticide just only spray more and more. Just think logically, if the pesticide is so toxic that it can kill all the pests at once, why the pest cannot just disappear for a long time, okay? And now, according to the research, they only spray more and more. The volume is getting larger and larger throughout the world. The spider mites is really hard to get killed right now. The problem, the cause of the problem is the pesticide resistance, okay? For example, in the case study of the United States, which are where there is more advanced, okay, the technology of the agriculture is more advanced, and then they also control the usage of the pesticides. Also have the problem of pesticide resistance, especially the two-spotted spider mites. Okay, it categorized as the top 6. Okay, of this kind of problem. Okay, let me explain about the pesticide resistance. It means that the pests, okay, or the spider mites or other pests will get immune, okay, some sort of like immune to the toxic, okay. So the more you spray, the more immune, okay, the pest is. So eventually you need to use more types or more concentrated or more volume of the toxic to kill it, and eventually it cannot be killed anymore. Why this happen? Because the pest will try to alter their behavior. So the more the pesticide we spray, the pest will know the smell of the pesticides, they know the sense of danger, they know uh, the the effect of the pesticides. Okay, so eventually when they spray, they get the smell, they will signal their friends to run away or hide as soon as possible. And secondly, the pest metabolism will become stronger. So in order for these species to survive, the pest will try to alter a little bit their organ little by little, and then to make them stronger, to become more immune to the toxic. Okay, for example, they try to make their shell harder so that the toxic is hardly penetrate their skin. Okay, or they try to make their leg longer so that they can run away as fast as possible, or they try to amend or not amend, sorry, they try to alter the liver, okay, to become larger a little bit so that it can reprocess, it can detoxify as faster rates. Okay, so the more they spray, the pest will become stronger and immune to the toxic. Okay, it just create much stronger and invisible grandchildren in the future. So can you imagine that, like in the future, the more we rely on the chemical pesticide, the pest will become super pests, okay, or super bugs. Okay, we don't want this happen. At the end, okay, when the farmer, they think that, oh, why the efficacy of pesticide is so low, it's not effective anymore, they will choose to mix more chemical pesticide. It could be more volume, more concentrated, or they probably probably similar brand, similar ingredients, but they just mix different brand. Okay, or they choose to mix more chemical pesticides. Okay, like different types. Okay, but as we know from the regulation of the pesticide, there is a regulation, what they call the pre-harvest interval. And it should be stated on the pesticide. It means that after we spray the chemical pesticides, how long we need to wait and then to let it disappear or to let it break down to the minimal rate, okay, so that we can harvest it. And usually it takes like 14 days, at least 14 days, and then uh, to this to break down into the minimal rate so that we can harvest it. Okay, but when we think about the fruiting crops like chili, like the eggplants, okay, those crops can be harvested continuously. Okay, like every 2 to 5 days, these crops we can harvest this crop once every 2 to 5 days. So at this time, at this moment, this crop might the food crops might still have pesticide residue. Okay, and if we just harvest it and we sell it and we let the consumer to eat it, and this consumer may just eat those residue accidentally. Okay, so we don't want this to get happen. All right, at this stage, at this moment, okay, we do a short revision. So the symptoms of the spider mite infestation are as below: white or yellow spots or cluster on leaf surface. There are moving red dots at the back of the leaves. If serious, there are spider webs, and we just abandon it for a long time, the leaves will become dry, no juice anymore. And the characteristic of the spider mites, their body size is very, very small, and they easily get blown by wind. So this is how the spider mites can spread to other plants, okay, by the help of the wind. It can reproduce at escalated rate. It can achieve the population of 1 million, okay, within a month. And they just poke and suck the leaf roots. And that's the reason why it creates so many white spots or clusters on the leaf. The risk behind the dependency on the chemical pesticides, it brings about the negative health effects towards the users. The next generation or the surrounding leaves may get unhealthy. And it causes the serious pesticide resistance problem. So because of this, the farmer will just mix more and it get more toxic, and it has more pesticide residues on the food crops, and it has higher chance to get pesticide residue for long-term crops. So today we would like to share with you about the organic way to manage the the spider mites. For small area, okay, or there are just only few plants in your garden, okay, if we want to reduce the spider mites, we can spray water frequently towards the back of the leaves, especially during hot and dry weather, because the spider mites are they do scare of water. They do scare of wet. Okay, get scare being flooded. Okay, and during hot and dry weather, after we spray and the plants, the water on plants will get dry very easily as well. So no worries, the plants will get overwater or wet. But if you have large area of gardening or large scale farming, okay, here are some tips that we can reduce the spider mite in organic way. Firstly, we can grow the plants that will attract the mites that eat mites. Yes, the mites that eat mites. So these mite, the first mite we are talking about is a good mite, a good bug. This is what we call the predatory mites. Okay, predator. Okay, means that the predator that prey the spider mites. Okay, the predatory mites. There are so many species. For example, the Swirsky. There are so many species around. Okay, and as you can see, these mites, they look structurally similar to the spider mites. Okay, as you can see over here, when we look under microscope, okay, how do we recognize it? Okay, how do we recognize the predatory mites? Oh, not need to be a microscope. We can take a magnifying glass, okay, about like 20 times of magnifying power. You just observe on the leaf. If the mice just walk very fast, okay, they just look around looking for prey, okay, and the body is transparent or white pearl, PRL, pearl in color, okay, it has high chance it could be the predatory mice, okay. They keep finding the prey, and these predatory mites, they also prey at the pests. For example, aphids, thrips, and also small butterfly. Okay, you see the thrips over here, the bottom here. This one is the predatory mites. So they will just run and go on top and start to eat the tree. Okay, so what are the plants that we can grow to attract the predatory mites? This is the plant, butterfly pea, or we call it the blue pea. So I believe that our friends over here could are familiar with the blue pea. So we take the flower to make the juice to become the coloring for the food and so on. Okay, and this one is can easily grow at home. When we grow it, it will attract a few spider mites that won't cause a serious infestation. But when we grow it, it should not be grown within the gardening area. Okay, the center of the gardening. It should be grow at the side. Okay, out perimeter of the planting area. So the few spider mites get attracted will become the food source for the predatory mites. Okay, as you can see here, this one, the spider mites, is so small compared to the coin. It takes like about like 60 spider mites and then to fill up one coin space. And not only the blue peas, we can also grow a weed called what we call the billy goat weed. This billy goat weed will help to stabilize the population of the predatory mites. As we can, the difference of the blue peas and the billy goat weed is that the blue peas, it need to create the food source, okay, and to attract the predatory mites. But the billy goat weed will actually help to them to settle down. Okay, they love the scent of the flower. Okay, they love to live here. Okay, and it helps to stabilize, and they will look around for to find the foods, and they will treat this as their home. The second way is that we can DIY, reproduce the beneficial microbes that eat the spider mites. Okay, if you find the if you have time to look for the research news, okay, online, you probably heard about that. According to research, they say that if we spray the diluted milk on the plant, okay, the spider mites will die. Why? Because the spider mites will go to drink the milk. okay, continuously, and their stomach will become swollen and keep expanding, and after that they get explode, okay, they get burst, okay, and die of swollen, okay. So why this happen, okay? Actually, it's due to what they call due to beneficial microbes called Histula species, okay. This is the natural enemy of the spider mites, okay. When we spray the diluted mix, and then it will try to attract the good microbes surrounding, and eventually it attract a kind of microbes called Histula thomsoni, okay, Histula species. And when the spider mite eat the milk, they also eat the Histula inside their body and start to get infest their start to infest their stomach, okay, and then uh, let their stomach cannot work anymore. So how can we reproduce this kind of microbe ourselves? What we can do is we can do oxygenated microliquid in the ratio of 1:1:10. Okay, let me repeat these three number: 1:1:10, 1:1:10. So 1:1:10, what are these about? Okay, the first one is 1 part of milk mixed with 1 part of sugar and 10 parts of water. Okay, so for example, you mix 1 kilogram of milk, 1 kilogram of sugar, and 10 kilogram of water. And after that, we close with net to avoid many disturbance, insects going inside and reproduce inside. We don't want this happen. And we just put a pump over there, okay, the aquarium pump, okay, very easily to get. And then to oxygenate, okay, to pump the oxygen inside this mixed liquid. And all these mixture are put inside a disinfected thong, okay. So we just need to ferment it for 10 days, okay. The dilution rate is about like 10 ml, okay, to 2 liter of water, and we spray on plants. And this one will contain substantial amount of Histula, and when the spider might eat that, okay, and then they will get affected. All right. The third way is that we can use the organic pesticide to kill the spider mites, to control the spider mites. Okay. If we don't have time, there are several material that we can use to control the spider mites. The first one is what we call the lime sulfur. You could either buy it online, for example, Lazada, Shopee. Okay, you can get the source very easily, or you can either do it yourself, DIY. Okay, so the benefits of the lime sulfur is that after we dilute with water and we spray on plants, it will create a white protective layer on the plant. Okay, you look, there is a like white dusty layer on the leaf. Okay, and this white layer will release sulfur ion that will hinder pest respiratory system. So with this, the pest cannot breathe normally, okay, and it affects the spider mites. If you really want to do it yourself, the required material will only need to be the cotton oxide or quicklime and the sulfur powder. Okay, just take note that we need to get sulfur powder, not the granule form, okay, because we need to make sure it reacts fully inside the water. The powder is a really good form. How can we do it? We just need to mix, we just need to have 2.5 liter of water, and we cook until 60 degrees Celsius. If you don't have the thermometer, you just need to see the water will start to get smoke out. Okay, the water smoke out. And that's the moment we can add 400 grams of sulfur. And after that, we just stir it, and then we cook it until 90 degrees Celsius. And the water will start to get bubble. Okay, like it start to get boil. And we add another 200 grams of lime, the quick lime. And we stir it for another 40 minutes again, and you see the bubbles and the reaction is going on. And after 40 minutes or a little bit more, you will see the liquid will turn from yellow become red in color. And this one is what we call the lime sulfur. So we just filter the residue out, and we take the liquid to dilute 800 to 1000 times. We mix 1 ml to 1 liter of water and we just spray on leaves. Okay, and this is the way we can make ourselves, or you can easily get it from the market. And if you really don't have time to, or you just cannot find the light sulfur or other materials, or you don't have time to do the beneficial microbes by yourself, you can look for the neem type organic pesticides. Okay, like for example, this one is made from neem oil, and according to our research, it can be more effective by adding what we call the seed oil, Fabaceae seed oil. This one is imported by India, from India, and you can see uh, the seed. Okay, we crush it, we get our oil out, and we formulate it, and it can become fully dissolved inside the water. With this one can this in sorry the this neem type organic pesticide contain 3 types of natural insecticidal contents, like salanin. These are Indian words. Okay, salanin, azadirachtin, and nimbin. Okay, these insecticidal contents will repel the pests. The pests don't like the smell, and it also antioxidant. It will affect the saliva system. It cannot it cannot come out the saliva. They cannot chew properly, and also they affect the digestive system. Okay, and this combined effect will create the antioxidant effect. And also the growth disruptor effect means that they affect the hormone inside, so that the adults cannot lay the eggs properly, or the eggs cannot hatch into larva properly, or the larva cannot turn into pupa properly. Okay, with these combined effects, according to research, these neem type organic pesticides can prevent more than 40 types of pests, including the spider mites. So we can look this video. Okay, these are the spider mites, 2 spotted spider mites. And after that, after few hours, the spider mites will get die because of the oil properties. They suffocate the pests, and also they make the pests hungry. They cannot suck the juice anymore, and they die of hunger. Okay, and according to our research, it can be enhanced further with the Fabaceae plant alkaloid. This plant is what they call the plant Fabaceae. Okay, they get the active ingredient out, which they call the plant alkaloid. They mix with these and to become the synergy effect to kill the spider mites. So the mechanism is this ingredient, it can help to paralyze the central nervous system of the pest. It solidifies the protein substance in the pest and affect the respiratory muscle activity. It means that the pest, the spider mite, it breathe. There are 2 muscle control it open and close, open and close. But this one, it cause them cannot contract and relax normally. It just like close or open most of the time. It cannot breathe properly, and this one we have to reduce the hatch pest or the adult pest effectively. When we spray it, you see that the red moving dots will become the black dot, and there is no motion anymore. By spraying organic pesticides, we can help to protect the beneficial bugs. Like for example, the predatory mites we mentioned just now. Okay, we can protect these pests, and we can protect the beneficiary animal, and these predatory mites will become more and more, and it can help your farm to work by eating other pests like aphid, thrips, and the butterfly. All right, there are some precautions when we manage or control the spider mites. The first thing is we need to make sure there's a right timing to spray the organic pesticides. The right time will be between 9 to 11 o'clock to, you see the red region over here. So the best time is from 9 to 11 or 2 to 5, because this is the active time. The high temperature will cause the spider mites to move actively, to to suck the plants more actively. Okay, but why we need to avoid from 11 to 2? Because the sun is the hottest. Okay, we want to avoid burn when we spray some organic pesticides on top, okay, or chemical pesticide on top. So the best time will be 9 to 11 or 2 to 5. At night, the temperature is so low, the spider mites will just hide, okay, at the very, very highest place. They start to get dormant and they will shrink their body, and their body will become dark in color. So when they shrink their body, it means that they try to protect themselves. They make their skin thicker. And if we spray at that time, most likely the pesticides or the active ingredient cannot penetrate their skin. Secondly, we can spray on the blind spots. We need to take note on the blind spots. For example, the back of the leaves, the petioles, and the soil. So as I mentioned just now, the back of the leaves, there are a lot of red moving dots. We need to make sure we spray at the back of the leaves. And there are some eggs, okay, lay on the highest place, okay. You see very, very secret place like this. We need to spray on that part as well, okay. Eventually, you see on the vein here, usually we just like spray on the white surface, but the vein here, sometimes they just like group together at the leaf veins, okay. So we need to take note on that as well. And also we need to spray on the soil, okay. Just need to be like the base of the stem. You spray on that will be fine, because the spider mites will easily drop and hide on the soil surface. Okay, the keyword will be spray until the plants get wet. Okay, not only wet on leaves, but also wet on the base of the stem. Spray surrounding soil. Okay, and if it's really getting serious, we can spray like twice a week, because it takes around like average 3 to 4 days for each hatching cycle. All right, let us make some conclusion over here. To reduce the spider mites in organic way, for a small area, we just need to spray water at the back of the leaves frequently, and we can grow the attractant plants to attract the predatory mites, such as the butterfly pea or the billy goat weed. And we can make ourselves the good micro liquid, okay, by using milk we mentioned just now, 1-1-10. Okay, and we can spray organic pesticide like lime sulfur, neem type pesticide enhanced with the flaxseed oil and the plant alkaloid. There are some precautions when we manage the spider mites. We spray at the right time, usually hot and dry weather, and we focus to spray on the blind spots until wet, like for example the back of the leaves, the petioles, and the soil. And if it's really serious, we can spray twice a week. All right, if you really don't have time, you want to get one to kickstart very fast, you can get it from major garden centers or online platform. All right, here's the end of my series section. Now I pass to our host, Jess.
Okay, thanks Hans for the interesting sharing. For tonight, I feel like I'm in a biology class instead of how to repel spider mite from my gardens. We know the spider mite from the larva stage until how we could repel it from our gardens. So
Yeah.
Hans, before I go into our question, actually there is a lot of question about our spider mites from
Oh
from
my
the best.
God.
So I'm not sure I'm able to read it out of for tonight or not. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and so friends in Facebook, if you haven't clicked on the share button, welcome to click on the share button now, so that we could share out this interesting sharing from Hans about the spider mites for our friends. Okay, so Hans, for the spider mite, when it is on a larva stage, when it look transparent, could we notice it with our eyes, or normally when
Yes,
we notice the spider mite, it already generate many generation already.
usually it's like this. Like for the farm practice, okay. I say for the farm practice, we need to go on spot and look at the plants from time to time, okay, like weekly. So when we look at the leaf and we see how many pests on each leaf, okay. By the time, but usually we don't have this kind of practice, right? So if we go to there and we look at the leaf, oh, suddenly we see there are some moving red dots on at the back of the leaves, okay. That could be quite too late already, okay. But if we have the practice, like go to farm or look at the plants from time to time, okay, when we look at leaf, okay, we will notice there are some like transparent dots like moving around. We can see that, we can observe that, okay. So if we observe that early, and that's a good time, we can kill it pretty easily, okay. We can just eliminate it very easily.
Yeah, so there's quite a lot of friends suffer with the spider mites problem.
Yes.
So when we notice the spider mite, so do we need to trim off the affected area or leaf before we spray the field solution that you
Yes,
told
yes,
just now?
yes. If we can do that, the purpose of trimming the leaves is not only trim the bad part of the leaves that consumes the nutrients, but we also remove a large population that gather on that part of the leaf. So after we remove that, when we spray, it will be easier to eliminate the spider mites.
Okay. So, does spider mite prevent a fruit tree to fruits? For example, avocado trees. From this question is from Eunice.
It depends on what stage of the fruit is, okay. So if the fruit is already become in the middle stage of become large, okay, then it won't affect that much. But when it starts to just only get flower and just get fertilized, and then it will somehow really affect the fruiting rate of the tree. Yes, definitely.
Okay. So, could we reuse our soil after we cut our old plants or after the plant have been attacked by the spider mites?
Sorry, what? Oh, reuse the
Could we
soil.
reuse the
Oh,
soil? Yeah, could
uh,
we reuse?
the best practice will be that we need to expose it under the sun first, okay,
Mm-hmm.
to disinfect and then to kill off any pests inside the soil, okay, or the pests will just run go to other places, okay. Then after like 3 days of exposing under the sun, then we reuse that, then it should be fine.
Also, the egg will not have a interval times like have a grace period around 14 days because
Yeah, yeah,
from Jimbo that he mentioned that there is a grace period or interval of 14 days must be
yeah,
observed. So
yeah.
is it the best that we uh, keep the soil away, do not continue grow anything on the soil for 14 days?
Yeah, that could be better if we can wait for that long. Okay. Thanks for the suggestion.
Okay, and then is it broad mite is same as the spider mites?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let me have time to check on that. Okay. So continue to the next question first. Okay.
Okay, so for normal spider, will it beside the predator that Hans introduced just now, is it normal spider will eat away spider mites? So if we saw any spider hanging around my balcony, should I spray it away?
So actually, the normal spider mites won't eat that spy won't eat that sorry the normal spider won't eat that spider mite, okay. But the normal spider will actually eat other pests, okay, for example like the aphid, like the butterfly, okay. This is very beneficial. So I to me, okay, to protect the ecosystem, okay, I won't suggest you to spray it away. But if you notice that the spider is really poisonous, okay, of course you need to do something to
Repel.
get it away. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a friend who suggests the soil we can pour the boiling water to kill all the larvae and the eggs that are the spider mites
Mm-hmm.
left on the soil. So is it pouring boiling water is one of the solution for
It depends.
it?
It depends on because the boiling water, it depends on like how much volume you pour and how depth you pour the boiling water. Of course, it will help. It will help. But if we just pour 2 liter, okay, and then it will probably kill the top layer, but the bottom layer it won't kill. So if you really want to use this method, you just distribute to a very teeny layer, and we just pour the boiled water and we just dry it, and it could work as well. Okay, or if you have neem oil, you can dilute it, you spray towards the soil, it will work the same as well. Okay. And let me get back to that question just now. Yes, the broad mite could be classified, considered as the spider mite as well. So if you face the problem of the broad mites, okay, you can use the same way.
Solution that, yeah.
Yeah, same solution. Yes, for the spider mite as well. Yeah.
Okay, after the leaf have been affected by the spider mite, is still edible?
Oh, for example, okay, let's say because the spider mites will usually infest the fruiting crops. Okay, like for example, the eggplants, the chili. Okay, but all these leaves, we don't eat the leaves, right? Okay, so but let's say if the spider mites really affect the infest the leaf, we need to eat the leaf. No problem. We just need to wash off and then eat the leaf. It should be fine. Okay, no worries. It won't.
Yeah,
It
it
won't.
depends on you. It won't bring any poisonous to you, but
Yeah,
depends on whether
and
you can
and
accept the outlook of the leaf, outlook of the
yes,
plants or not.
yes. For us, like quite often we just like we see there are some holes on the vegetables, and then some dots. Okay, we just don't mind because they are so organic. Okay, and then we just don't care and we just eat it. It should be fine.
Okay, so is it the winkle leaf, does the spider mite will cause the leaf become wrinkle or like
Yes,
curly?
depends on depends on what kind of plant it is. Like for example, the chili. Yes, the chili plant they will get wrinkle, but the the chili leaf become wrinkled not only because of the spider mites, also caused by the thrips, caused by the white flies, and so on. There are so many pests that can cause the leaf become wrinkled. So that's why when we share how to observe the symptom of the spider mites, we need to look at the back of the leaves and see there are some moving red dots moving around or not, while the leaf become wrinkle. Okay, so look at the moving red dots, and also are there some spider webs on top. Yeah, that's the right way we can observe the symptom.
Mm. Okay, does predator mites also spider mites family? So this is a question from Francis, and also JL Tan have helped us to answer about this predator mite. JL Tan mentioned that predator mites are from uh, the the can you read the okay?
You
Can
display
you
the comment and see, because I didn't see.
Yeah. Okay. So from the JL Tan, he mentioned that the
Where is the JL Tan?
okay.
Oh, okay.
No, JL Tan.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, this is the class. Okay. Phyto say they. Okay. Okay, there are a lot of predatory mites. Okay, could be the Swarovski, could be the these Orophyt, so many predatory mites. Okay, and yeah, they are different families. So one is eating the pest, and one is eating the leaf. Okay, so they are totally different family.
Okay. So just now, I'm not sure for which part you have, Hans, you have mentioned that we have to keep the plants wet or spray them wet
Okay,
because I
so
get them with the aquatic plants. The
okay,
spider mite is on the aquatic plants.
okay, I see. So if let's say the just now I mentioned that if you only like plant for a small area, then the easiest way to do is we spray the water at the back of the leaves. Okay. For aquatic plants, you can do the same as well. When we spray on that, and then the spider mites will drop to the water at the base. Okay, it should be fine because it make them suffocate. Okay, at the time, so it should be fine. No worries.
Okay, so now the question were the most of the question were regarding the solution that Hans shared just now. So this is about the milk formula. So
Oh,
any milk or low fat, low
okay.
fiber,
I
or
can.
how about expired Yakult, expired
I
detergent?
okay. This one, okay, about the milk. Okay, the milk is actually the research report only. Okay, it didn't say about like the dilution rate or the or the exact method to work it correctly. But the finding is that from the milk, why the milk can kill, okay, can kill, but probably not that effective yet because there are some variables in the environments that probably not uh, attract the good microbes, the Hustula that I mentioned just now, because it could attract the bad microbes, it could attract that and here, okay. But they find that the Hustula, this species is the natural enemy to kill the spider mites. Okay, so that's why in order to get high concentrated volume of the Hustula, we need to DIY by ourselves. Don't simply spray the diluted milk on the plants, okay? Because you spray the diluted milk, probably it attract more than you cannot imagine, okay? So don't do that. What I share is about the research report says so only, okay? Hmm. I it didn't mention about like using the food cream milk or the low fat milk. It didn't mention about that, okay? Mm-hmm.
But after the milk solution, you have sharing
Oh, the
a
method
a way.
1-1-10, right? Okay,
Yeah,
one one
yeah,
ten,
yeah.
right?
The one
Okay,
one
one
one,
one
the one
one one
one
ten.
ten.
Okay, cream milk and the low fat milk should be fine. Because because it needs to consume the lactose content inside the milk. So the low fat milk and the full cream milk should be fine. No worries. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for the if what we want to try the milk solution, then must be follow the 1-1-10 will
Yeah,
be
1-1-10.
more effective.
Yeah, will be more effective. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so for this 1-1-10, is it the Vitagen or the Yakult drink? Is it suitable for this one or only milk?
According to my seafood, okay, it say that it's better to use the only milk because the Vitagen is not is already,
Ferment.
the substance is already fermented and also degraded already. Okay, so there is no any active ingredient that can be broken down by the Hustula anymore. And then some more, the microbe inside is the lactobacillus already, not the Hustula. Okay, so we need to do that. Okay, and for the milk, okay, is the Yakult milk inside is anaerobic, and just now I say we need to pump oxygen inside is aerobic microbes. Okay, so they are totally different.
Okay, thanks for the question from our friends,
Good,
and also thanks for Hans
good
Leon for the
point.
question, because some of
I,
our friends they already going to buy the fresh milk and spray on their
uh,
plants. Okay, next question is about the lime sulfur. So does
yes.
lime sulfur kill white flies and their eggs? And their eggs?
Okay. Okay. So actually, lime sulfur is quite strong. If we make it, if we do ourselves, okay, the efficacy of lime sulfur is quite strong that it can kill like quite many pests, including the spider mites, including the thrips, and also some species of the whitefly, and also the eggs. But the problem is that it's so strong that because the solution is so alkaline, so when we spray too much on the plants, and the plants will get so sensitive that it gets start to get burned. Okay, it's not that good. Okay, so the lime sulfur, if we use that, we need to use with cautious. We just spray usually once a week or once every 2 weeks. Okay, and then to just kill all one off. Okay, like that only. Okay, so it can, to be honest, I go back to the question just now. Yes, it can kill other kind of pests as well, but we need to use it with cautious. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so just now for the next solution is regarding the I saw there is some similar question from
Yep.
from Facebook is about the timing. on
Oh yeah,
when we should spray on the the neem oil, because
yeah.
some friends mentioned that even they after, because at this moment for weather in Singapore and Malaysia, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. actually is still quite very hot. So
Yes.
does this any recommended temperature or any
Oh
weather that they could
yes. Actually, why?
to prevent the
Why?
burn, they need to
Okay, I
prevent
get.
the burn.
Okay, yes, I get what you mean. Okay, so the thing is that the temperature, there is no because it's really hard to follow using the temperature, because the temperature quite fluctuate. We cannot predict the weather. Okay,
Mm.
right now. So the thing is that, okay, let me come back to the part why we shouldn't spray between 11 to 2. Okay, because if we spray from 11, okay, and the then the stain of the pesticide will left on the leaf. Okay, and then from 11 to 5, okay, it will stay there for 6 hours to have stain on the leaves, and it create higher chance to let the plant get burned. You get what I mean? But if we spray at 2 o'clock, okay, from 2 to 5, or from 4 to 5, oh sorry, from we spray at 2 o'clock, okay, and the weather will start to cool down after 5 o'clock. So you only stay there for 3 hours. You get, if we spray at
Mm-hmm.
4 p.m., okay, the stain will live there for only like 1 hour, okay, for 1 hour to get hot. You get what I mean? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so 2 to 5, like 3 hours, okay, shouldn't cause the plant to get burned, because after that it will cool so fast after then, like that. And we can spray in the morning, 9 a.m., because after a while the stain will start to get dry faster after that time, so it should be fine. Okay, yes, apply in the morning like 6 to 8 a.m., it should be fine, no worries.
So does it mean that I have to avoid, after I
mm,
spray any oil solution on
mm,
on my plants, I have to
mm-hmm.
avoid that within 2 hours it do not expose to a really hot sunlight?
Yes, you can say so. That's why we need to avoid the hot afternoon from 11 to 2 p.m., which is the hottest that time. Okay.
Yeah, so
So,
friends, keep in your mind is after you spray the plants, after you spray the oil based solution, you
yeah.
cannot the plants cannot directly expose to a very hot sunlight. So it
Mm,
definitely will cause the burn sign, or the
mm,
burn or the fry to your
mm.
plants.
Yep. It doesn't apply on the oil type only, but also other type of the pesticide. Okay. Because even eventually the chemical pesticide, there are some chemical on top.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then it will have some reaction going on. So just avoid that time, no matter what kind of pesticide you are spraying. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so thanks, Hans. So I'm sorry that I couldn't, due to short of time, I couldn't read out all the questions, and some of the question may need
Oh,
further
let
clarification.
can I answer one more
Yeah,
question?
sure, sure.
Yep. Because I see some comments. There are some people worry about spraying the neem oil to the soil. Will it affect the
Mm,
earthworm? Will it kill the good bacteria? Will it have anything
suffocate the predator mites. Will it
yeah, and so
suffocate
on.
the?
Oh, yeah, no worries. This one totally no worries. Okay, if you spray on soil, it will leave the just now we say the insecticidal content inside the soil, and it avoid the mites, okay, from hiding inside the soil for so long. Okay, it will help to kill, but uh eventually it will start to become biodegradable. Okay, and then the earthworm eventually love the neem. Okay, so no worries. Okay, and then it won't kill the predatory mite as well. Okay, so just use it with ease of heart. Okay, no worries. Thank you.
Okay, thanks again for the clarification. And if your question didn't been read out by me, so I would like to apologize for that. And you are welcome to PM us, PM to PM to our Facebook, and also if you have any specific plants with any pest problem, so you can take a picture and PM us anytime. Then we will pass your information or your question to Hans, and then we will do a further clarification or further suggestion for you to take care the way how to take care of your plants or solve your pest problem. So if you have any question regarding your plants, also remember always send us pictures, because picture is better than 1,000 words. So you take two picture. One is a close-up picture which we can see significantly, can see very clearly what is the condition or what is the sign of the plants. And then second picture is from far. So we can see the whole plants, the whole condition of the plant, so that we could provide a suitable or the better solution for you to what is the next step that you could do for your plants.